What is going on, people? Feroncio here, and welcome to episode 12 of Nioh 3 100% walkthrough. So, folks, before we start anything, let's go up level and let's add up to our stamina. And since we are here, let's go and fix some of these blessings. Let me see. Yeah, let's increase the drop rate. And also on the Jizu, let's increase. Don't think I can go up anymore. So let's increase the elixir drop rate. And now, since we are done here, we good. Now let's go check our equipment really quick because I think I can equip a few more pieces of the Crimson General. So on the arms, yep, so this is good. On the legs, this is also an improvement. Foot. Okay, so foot is not going to work. We're still yellow, but a couple more pieces did not hurt at all. So now we have 4 pieces of this set. So a couple more and the Odaki is going to shine. But at this point, I think this is what we needed. Also, let's go take a look at the titles. So I have not done anything of the titles. It's not a lot of help, but any help works here. So the way the title works is obtaining prestige from the titles. uh, so we will be acquiring points, and then we will need to allocate these points, and that will improve our stats a little bit. So for example, this will reduce the amount of ki consumed when performing a melee attack with a samurai style. However, I would rather reduce the ki consumption when I'm guarding. So I am going to pump this all the way to levels, let's say 5, and give him a level 4 at the moment. So for the ninja, I'd rather have increased ki damage dealt by ninjutsu. So that will give me a 3.6 percent more damage, and that's it for the ninja. On the tactics, I like my Omnio Magic, and I also like the ki recovery speed. So this takes care of this too, and I cannot increase anything else. For subjugation, reduce the damage taken from attacks when my ki is reduced to 0. Yes, I want that. And against formidable enemies, I would like my melee ki damage to be, increased by 2.8%. Like it. In the Crucible, I would like to have my Crucible drop rate increased. And in exploration, yeah, the amount of life I can recover by taking down elixir. On the facilities, so gold earn it is impossible, but we also make gold by selling an item. So yeah, so this is about 1.7 more compared to 1.4. So yeah, I'm going to pump this guy. On the collection, yeah, familiarity. The sooner that I can get familiar with a weapon, the better. And this is it for the titles, folks. So now we are, I think, on par with everything. So we will be clearing the whole area of Lake Hamana in this episode. So let's go. Yeah, let's don't fight this guy here on the little ledger. Bring him over here. Uh, yeah, yeah, he's gone. So so we've been here in this area before. This is no news. Um, let's go and proceed here. There is an enemy over there on the top. Another archer down there. A guy down here. And we already killed these guys, but it's free Amrita, so why not, right? Okay, so once these guys are done, we are going to start the area properly. So now, Lake Hamana, okay? So there is that big dude out there, Daidaraboki, which is going to throw things at us, things that hurt. So you get hit by that thing, your life gets down by a pretty good amount. So, so how do we avoid getting hit by him? Easy. So we will be ignoring everything until we reach here the keep. Once we reach the keep, we are safe and the Daraboki is not going to throw anything at us anymore. Then we will calm him by finding a way to calm him, and then we can get and loot the rest of the area. But from the starters, we will just go and follow this road all the way over here. Now be careful because the entrance to the keep is also kind of a, it's not really a secret passage or stuff like that, but it needs to be broken. It is inside a rock and it is not easy to find. So we'll be getting some hits before we are actually able to use that entrance. So with that, just go over here to the right first and then follow the road over here to the left and try not to get hit by the Daraboki. Once you're here, that is, this is the area where we're going to need to do some stuff, right? So we're going to get hit a little bit until we open up this passage. Now the passage is open and all we need to do is just go and hit here. Once we here, we are safe, and there is this next shrine here. But the Daraboki is not going to throw anything else, and we are good in here. So next, it is way easier. So we'll collect some loot here, deal with some enemies, a couple of enemies here before we go across the bridge, collect some loot. So let's bring in that little guy. And also let's see if we can backstab this guy. Did not work. I'm on big instant. Okay, so let's... Okay, so once we get rid of these guys, then let's go collect our loot. And now let's go and face that guy. I'm going to rush this dude here. Alright, so he is done. Okay, so do not worry about all of this loot. There is no way to collect that at the moment. They are behind a spirit vein that we have no access. Okay, so just be careful. Again, this is behind this spirit vein. We're not going to be able to do anything at the moment. So forget about it for the moment. And let's go and proceed here. Let's go collect this piece of loot. And let's go into the keep proper. Okay, so couple of enemies here. So two more. Let's see if we can bring... Okay, so that one we can pretty much kill from a distance. So he is done, and then we can rush the other one. Alright, so these guys are done. Let's collect our loot. And move forward. Okay, so let's see if we can pick up this little dude here. Come on, come over here. I like that I can hit him, but he cannot hit me. Well, Kusarigama, not that bad, really. But we have that big dude to deal with right now. Nice. Okay. So once this guy is done, so also we don't have the key for this at the moment, but let's collect some loot. Just be careful so you don't go into the water because of these gaps. So nothing on the other side at the moment. We will be actually coming down from that side later on. But let's go up here. And we'll be reaching another shrine. So there is an enemy over here. There is an ambush over here with the little guy. And there is a big guy that I'm going to try to stab him on the back. Now this area here is a little bit more complicated. So first there is a hot springs here. We can just get in and relax a little bit. But there are some enemies that we need to take care of over in this area. But the first thing we're going to do is open this shortcut. And then there is this other dude here that we'll have to battle. Alright, so folks, this is the big kahuna here. That guy is a little bit more intense and he can cause some serious damage. So be prepared, buff up, do whatever you want. As a matter of fact, he is not easy, but he is not hard. We faced him before. Alright, so he is done. Just don't facilitate with him because he can be really challenging. So let's go and take care of our loot. I'm quite sure I left some loot behind. And there is a shishiko that we're going to take care of it later on. You can even hear the shishiko at the moment. But right now, don't worry about the shishiko. I was just looking for some of this spare loot. Yeah, so don't worry about that at the moment. Yeah, what is... do I have loot on top of this? No. Okay, so that is the spirit vein. All right, so we have a shrine here. We will need to defeat the wraiths and bring an orb over here. Looks like something can be placed here. So once we go over here, we will be fighting the wraith of this area. And at the end, once we open, we will that path at the end of the wraith, we will be fighting. So the problem with here, okay, strongly recommend you bring something like a fireproof amulet. This thing, set it as shortcut. And the reason for that is that we will be fighting in a very narrow area. And lava on both sides. So we will inevitably, it's easy to go and fall into the lava pool. Everything in here is fire, so you're not going to get hurt if you use a fireproof amulet. Okay? Now, these guys are hard. They are not easy, and, there is a good chance that we can die here. Okay? So just be careful. Use your amulets, use whatever you want, and be a little aggressive. Before, so these guys cause too much damage. I'd rather stay here, close to these dudes, and be a little bit more aggressive. Okay, so we are done here. And we survive all of this. So break it. Once we do, then we have access to the orb or whatever that is. Carry that all the way to the altar.
なんとも霊妙な輝きを放っておる。もしかすると大だらぼっちを沈める手がかりやもしれん。収まるべき場所があるはずじゃ。辺りを探してみようぞ。
And let's calm the Daraboshi. All right, so now that the Daraboshi is calm, we can go back and, loot our place. Let's see if we forget anything.
日当たりにも活気が戻ろう。でかしたぞ竹千代。
So we now completed this. And we have some stuff to do here. So let's go and pick up some of this spare loot. That is the Shishiko, but let's don't worry about the Shishiko at the moment. Collect this. Now we get the cell keys, and we will be. So get pet the Shishiko. I got lucky because see that normally goes, and he was in a position that was easy. So, but in any case, if you come over here, you don't see the Shishiko. So wait, because he will be coming here. He travels on the side of that wall, and eventually he will face over here. So once you do that and you have the cell keys, then we will drop from here and all the way down here. We already killed these dudes, so we don't have to worry too much about them. Use the cell key. Pick up the ninja locks, guide the Kodama. And this is pretty much on this area here, we are pretty good. So let's see what we have left. So we have a master here, and we have all of this stuff. We have a Scampus, and we have a Crucible Spike. So let's go and get this Crucible Wraith here. That's the first one that we can do. I think we can, not going to be able to do this at the moment. Yes, this is the one that we cannot do. But we can go over here and get rid of the master. So let's do that. Let's move on this direction here. So the master is in this area here. And as soon as we touch this, he will spawn. So before I actually face him, I am going to clean up the rest of this area. And the reason for that is I want to get done with this Odaki Crucible art so I can improve the weapon, because that is not the best weapon to face the master. See, I cannot even beat the Kappa. Imagine having to face the master. Okay, so let's go back and deal with this loot here. Okay, so far so good. We cleared all of that, so let's go clear the center here on the right. And take care of this campus. So this campus is right up, and if you remember, so when we we get down from here, the Daraboki was upset and he was throwing stuff, and we went all the way down to the left. And before we go past this campus, let's go and clear some of this. All right, thank you, thank you. So now let's collect these last pieces of loot here. And I think this is everything that we had in the store, right? So a little bit more loose species here. And let's go face this crucible spire here. So this is done. So folks, the only thing missing right now, it is the master. So we don't have anything else. That is one. So this area here, we can't do it right now. So pretty much it, right? Now, the master, he is really painful, okay? He is very small, very slow, and you know, it's going to take one hit and you're done. So there are no mistakes against the master. So let's check to see if my crucible weapon is done or not. And it is not, but I am going to switch that out because that's a level 12 doing 269 points of damage. And let's see what I can get here on the top. So let's see, spear. Another Odaki that can do 346. So going to use this guy instead of the other one. We'll go back to him later. But to face the master, we need something that can, you know, take a punch. Also, I am going to go back to the shrine and equip this new Daidaraboki orb, because that will give me access to the sloth art talisman, so that will slow him down a little bit. All right, looks like we have enough for another level 2, so let's add that up, and then let's go into the soul cores and add this Daidaraboki, that is okay right here. Let's put that and equip this. And well, since we are here, let's check if I can bring anything else into this foot guard. It's not, nope, too heavy. Okay, so this is what we have at the moment, folks. and we go. By the way, you cannot bring an acolyte to the fight. That's not how this thing works. So
この地を治める器か。見定めさせてもらう。
All right, so this is done, folks. Okay, so from here, yeah, can we just go, what do we need to do? Okay, exit. And this is all done, folks. This is all done. So now let's go and return. We will go in a different way. So let's go and return. Let's see where we go next. I think over here, Hamamatsu Hills. So let's go over here. All right, folks. So this is it for this episode. We'll start the next one from here, and we'll go over here on Hamamatsu Hills. But this is it for this episode. So if you guys, if you stayed with me and if you enjoyed, you already know my famous saying, right? Don't be afraid to be happy, my friend. Just click that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next episode.